When is the last time you read some really good poetry? Poetry is a genre that I feel I don't read enough. So today we're going to talk about some new ones that I got in my collection and I'm hoping to get to soon. Let's get right into it. Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. Like I said, today I just want to share some new poetry books in my collection. The first one we have is The Gravity Inside Us by Chloe Frene or Frame. My apologies. But this one, I actually discovered this. I was randomly Googling something on Google. I was randomly searching for something on Google. And when I was looking at the photos, poems from this book came up, and it's just like they were reading and hitting my soul. And so I'm hoping that this poetry book lives up to all of my expectations and that it does what I felt like the individual poems were doing. And this is what it says. I once read an article about the electromagnetic energy of a heart. A scientist had discovered that one heart could feel another from 3 feet away, a pulse. I began to develop a theory about gravity. It stands to reason that if there is something inside us that reaches for the thing inside someone else, we have begun to understand the science of fate. It stands to reason that if we call this a gravity, people pull us more than planets. And so I have high hopes for this. So hopefully I'll get to this soon. Next up, we have one that has a lot of memories for me. That is The Rose That Grew from Concrete by Tupac Shakur. I have read this. You all will see I have stars. As I'm going through my library, I'm putting stars in the books that I've read. So when they're on my shelves, people can know, like, how many of these books have you read? They'll be able to see. So that's one thing that I'm doing as well. But this one, I actually remember walking to the bookstore in high school to pick this book up. And I had to get a new copy because mine just disappeared years ago. But this was always so special to me. So to have it back in my collection, like I just needed to have it back. And so I'm very grateful that I was able to get it in hardback or hardcover. Because a lot of the ones I had seen were paperback and I wanted hardcover. And this is what it says. On the back, it has his poem, In the Event of My Demise. In the event of my demise, dedicated to those curious. In the event of my demise, when my heart can beat no more, I hope I die for a principle or a belief that I had lived for. I will die before my time because I feel the shadow's depth, so much I wanted to accomplish before I reached my death. I have come to grips with the possibility and wiped the last tear from my eyes. I've loved all who were positive in the event of my demise. This, if you've never picked it up, just do. It's so well worth it. Next, we have one that was sent to me, and I just love the cover of this one. It is Paper Boat by Margaret Atwood. And if you've never checked out her masterclass, worth it. It's new and selected poems from 1961 to 2023. That's an intense span of time. And this is what it says. Tracing the legacy of Margaret Atwood, a writer who has fundamentally shaped the contemporary literary landscape, Paper Boat, New and Selected Poems, 1961 to 2023, assembles Atwood's most vital poems in one essential volume. In pieces that are once brilliant, beautiful, and hyper-imagined, Atwood gives voice to remarkably drawn characters, mythological figures, animals, and everyday people, all of whom have something to say about what it means to live in a world as strange as our own. How can one live with such a heart? Atwood asks, casting her singular spell upon the reader and ferrying us through life, death, and whatever comes next. Atwood, in her journey through poetry, illuminates our most innate joys and sorrows, desires and fears. Spanning more than 60 years of work, from her earliest beginnings to brand new poems, this volume charts the evolution of one of our most iconic and necessary authors. It's like your life's work in poems in one book. And it's a little thick, but I'm excited to delve in. I just think that's just such an accomplishment, honestly. So excited to have this in my collection. And this one was also sent to me. This one is titled Next Day, New and Selected Poems by Cynthia Zarin. And this one reads, also look at the back. I love when they put like full photos in the back. I just think those are always like so nice and different. It says, culminating in a score of new poems, this volume is a tour through Cynthia Zarin's 5 extraordinary collections. Beginning with The Swordfish Tooth, published in 1989, like Elizabeth Bishop, Zarin allows the reader to experience human truths through a poem's shape and music, embodied in intimate images, the turn and the stare, a snow globe, bare birch branches, a vase of flowers, and a propulsive syntax. From the clarity of childhood memory to the maze of family life, from her shape-shifting landscapes of New York, Cape Cod, and Rome to the troubled conscience of a nation, Zarin's subject matter is the complicated life of the heart, its risk, its shattering demands, its immediacy. So those are ones I'm excited to have in my collection. Hopefully you, like in my reading them and talking about my experiences with them, hopefully you yourself found something that you find enjoyable and you want to check it out and broaden your horizon if you're not into poetry, or add it to your collection if you are. That is all for me today. As always, I am MsMalcolmHughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. And until the next one, please remember to give time, to be kind to each other, and to have the very best day of your life on purpose. I hope you all are staying warm in this cold weather. Peace, double, adios. Ciao.